Chapter 64. He spiritual plant matures, killing the chicken to warn the monkey. Pure Yang Peak, within the spirit fields. Since the announcement of the outer sect senior brother in the morning, everyone was immersed in cultivation. Except for Han Yi, who was lightly stepping among the spiritual herbs in the field, his face beaming with joy. Finally, the spiritual plants have matured. After more than a month of nurturing, it was time for Han Yi to harvest. The 4 types of spiritual medicines he had initially planted: spirit-gathering grass, dragon sleep grass, blazing sun fruit, and evergreen ivy leaf were now ripened. The spirit-gathering grass and evergreen ivy leaf matured first, because they are short-term spiritual plants that can mature within 2 or 3 months. With the help of wood plant expertise, the maturation time was reduced by nearly half. The other 2 spiritual medicines weren't this fast but grew particularly well. The blazing sun fruit hadn't borne fruit yet, while the dragon sleep grass had recently sprouted green buds. Evergreen ivy leaf is an essential medicinal ingredient for making the evergreen pill a significant demand, and so is the spirit-gathering grass. With their heavy uses in key cultivation, the demand for the key nurturing pill they produce is considerable, making supply inadequate among the cultivators. That's why Han Yi chose them as cultivation targets. Han Yi confidently crouched down in front of a plant with serrated for leaves, staring at the leaves spewing silver rays, swaying with the wind, full of life. Looking at the seeds he had nurtured growing up, he felt a sense of achievement in his heart. Having 50 evergreen ivy leaves that I initially bought for 100 spirit stones. If I sell them to Yangshen Peak now, I wonder how much I could get. Even if I kept a few for myself, selling the rest would undoubtedly leave me with a lot. I need to find a time to go to the sex alchemy place, Yangshen Peak. I might be able to sell quite a lot of spiritual medicines. He slowly rose to his feet, looking at the lush spiritual plants around him, already calculating how much money he could make. Each type of spiritual medicine could be sold for 2,000 to 3,000 spirit stones. And by selling them all, he could earn tens of thousands of spirit stones. In the future, with more money, he would continue to expand production, buying more seeds, selling more medicines. Within the sect, land is the cheapest thing. At Pure Yang Peak, there are even numerous cultivated spirit fields that were left unused because there are few who are proficient in this field. Even those who are generally buy some decorative glowing spiritual plants for show. Shasha! The sound of footsteps in the mud echoed, and Han Ye's ears perked up, realizing that someone was approaching. More than one, a group of people. A glance showed a group of blue-clad disciples from the outer sect, led by a muscular bald youth whose brows were marked with displeasure. And his cultivation level was slightly higher than Han Ye's, probably a river realm disciple of the outer sect. You're Han Yi, the newly appointed outer sect senior brother? That's me, Han Yi replied casually. His heart had already prepared for battle. With his qualifications to firmly hold the position of senior brother, he probably needed to fight a few matches to prove it. In Pure Yang Peak, the powerful are supreme. If you're not strong enough, others won't accept you. Han Ye's elder sister had warned him before she left in the morning. When he encountered disciples he couldn't handle, he should tell her. But Han Yi felt it was not necessary for his sister to intervene. The bald youth's gaze was fierce. Seeing that Han Ye's spiritual ki fluctuation was only at the pool realm, he said frostily, "My name is Qin Hu. I entered Pure Yang Peak 3 years ago. I'm at the river realm in key cultivation, on the verge of entering the sea realm. In terms of seniority and cultivation, I'm superior to you." His tone then switched, and he injected true ki into it, loudly questioned. "And you, a disciple who's just few months into the sect, dare to take over the position of senior brother? You should understand that this position is not anyone's to take." Qin Hu's voice imposed a heavy true ki, making every word sound like thunder. It seemed capable of bursting eardrums, aiming to suppress Han Yi with his cultivation level and seize the right to speak. Upon hearing this, Han Yi raised an eyebrow. "Take over? Not quite. I'm just like you all, an outer sect disciple." Seeing his words were calm, Qin Hu thought he got scared and sneered, "Are you backing off already? Dare you fight me on the Slaying Dao platform?" The Slaying Tao platform is a combat stage for the disciples of Dragon Sparrow sect. All conflicts between disciples can be settled privately by dueling on the platform. And even if someone is killed, there's no need to hold responsibility. Han Yi spread his hands, chuckling, "What's in it for me from fighting you? Merely fighting won't do. There must be some practical benefits. Otherwise, wouldn't it be a waste of energy? You want benefits?" Kinhu laughed out loudly. "What benefits do you want?" Han Yi thought for a while and said, "If you lose, how about you give me all the spirit stones you have?" "What if you lose?" Hanya smiled. "If I lose, I'll voluntarily give up the position of senior brother. And also give you my spirit stones." "Good!" Upon hearing this, Kinhu's eyes lit up, and he shouted aloud, "Come with me to the Slaying Tao platform." Han Yi, however, shook his head. "No need for the Slaying Tao platform to deal with you. Less chit-chat, why don't you just make your move? I still need to water them later." He pointed to a spiritual plant nearby, evidently not taking them seriously. Arrogant. Kinhu squinted, displeased with Han Yi's attitude. Thud! A muffled sound resonated as the ground was instantly stepped into a pit. The next second, Kinhu rushed in front of Han Yi with an extremely fast speed. He threw a punch straight at Han Yi's chest, filled with thick true qi, with a faint blue glow flicker. Any ordinary man would definitely meet the end of their life if hit. Even cultivators in the cup or pool realm would have fractured bones or even ruptured internal organs, and would collapse with severe injuries. He didn't waste time on too many words or niceties, but chose to strike directly to catch Han Yi off guard. Bang! However, his fist landed squarely on Han Yi's chest, producing just a dull thud. Kinhu's punch felt as if it had landed on an iron wall, and Han Yi hadn't moved at all. He just absorbed the power of that punch, not retreating half a step. What? Kinhu was shocked inside. His face turned the color of ashes. He had delivered that punch with all his might, not holding back anything at all, yet the opponent had taken it straight with his chest. Han Yi remained expressionless, closing his hand into a fist, and swiftly slapped Kinhu. Bang! The slap landed on Kinhu's face. He felt a terrifying force attacking his head, and couldn't help being thrown backwards. With a boom, he was embedded into the side of the mountain wall, coughing up a mouthful of blood. Han Yi rolled his neck, stretching his wrist, admiring with admiration in his heart. This was the unrivaled tyrant body, indeed, truly extraordinary. Not only was it highly impact resistant, able to withstand heavy hits without moving an inch, but it could also exert immense physical strength. All of Han Yi's limbs were in the tyrant body state, with hardly any weaknesses. A cultivator should never reveal their weaknesses, let alone their fatal moves. As far as Han Yi was concerned, he currently didn't have any weaknesses. The disciples around all had their mouths agape when they saw Kinhu being repelled in one move, all equally shocked. Wait a minute, is senior brother Kinhu supposed to be at a higher realm? Why was he knocked down in an instant? Did Han Yi intentionally hide his cultivation level? Han Yi stepped forward slightly, standing in front of the kneeling, blood-spitting Kinhu, smilingly asked, "Are we still heading to the Slaying Tao platform for a match? Is there a need for it anymore?" Kinhu's aura immediately became frail and his face went white. With trembling lips he stammered, "Junior brother is indeed formidable." Immediately after, he looked at the hand Han Yi had extended and paused. "This is spirit stones," Han Yi couldn't help reminding with a smile. Soon, watching many disciples carry away the blood-spitting Kinhu from the spirit field, Han Yi lowered his head to count the spirit stones in his storage ring. He roughly counted the number of spirit stones on him. 100 left for the task, 1,500 from the demon cultivator's treasure snatch, 500 for winning the fight. There were again 2,100 spirit stones on him, enough to buy another magical artifact. This money comes in so quickly. Han Yi sighed, then glanced at the many pairs of eyes retreating quietly around him, chuckling to himself. The approach to make an example out of someone worked pretty well. For a short period of time, disciples from the outer sect who knew better probably would not come. But he was also slightly regretful at heart. It would have been good if more people came to challenge him. Why would he be concerned about not having enough spirit stones to spend?